wrote, "I know why Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, Candace Owens, and Alex Jones have all been fighting me for years, especially by the fact that they think it is wonderful for Iran, the #1 state sponsor of terror, to have a nuclear weapon, because they have one thing in common: low IQs. They are stupid people. They know it, their families know it, and everyone else knows it too. Look at their past. Look at their record. They don't have what it takes, and they never did."
So Candace Owens just dropped a nuclear response to Trump's Truth Social meltdown, where he called her, Tucker Carlson, and Megyn Kelly low IQ. This isn't just political drama. This is the complete fracturing of the MAGA coalition over foreign wars and Israeli influence. Let's break down this devastating takedown.
Do you have any idea why it was, Mr. President, that your old tweets, the sentences you used to say, which were typically definitely insults back in 2015, but do you ever wonder why they worked? I can help you. Ready? It's because they were rooted in some element of truth.
This hits at Trump's core weakness now. His 2016 insults worked because they targeted real establishment corruption, Hillary's emails, Jeb's donors. But attacking independent media figures who've built genuine audiences, it screams desperation from someone who's lost his political instincts.
So if you called Rosie O'Donnell unattractive, or when you said Hillary Clinton should be in prison, it played to the crowd because although many people thought it was inappropriate and beneath the dignity of a politician, it was based in truth, right? Hillary Clinton's done some things. Now, you can call Megyn Kelly a great many things. I have definitely had my political disagreements with her over the years. Low IQ? Really? Tucker Carlson, low IQ? Me, low IQ? The three of us unsuccessful somehow? When you write stuff like that, you just demonstrate nothing but your own irrationality. It just doesn't land.
Exactly right. Hillary Clinton had actual scandals. The Clinton Foundation, deleted emails, Wall Street speeches. But Tucker has the highest rated show in cable news history. Megyn Kelly built a media empire, and attacking their intelligence just makes Trump look unhinged and out of touch with reality.
You're the leader of the free world, and you're tweeting about us. I think that means somebody cares. Actually, what nobody cares about anymore, and what you seem to have an inability to comprehend, is that traditional cable news no longer moves the needle.
The data backs this up completely. Cable news viewership dropped 25% in 2025 alone, while podcast downloads hit 5 billion monthly. Trump's still fighting yesterday's war, while independent creators command tomorrow's audiences. He's become the establishment figure clinging to dying platforms.
FDR, he used the radio, right? His voice, the fireside chats, it worked. It moved audiences when it was new. And when the world transitioned there, and then suddenly it was the dawn of television, JFK's good looks on the screen, that served him. And he used that. Once again, fast forward to today, and the world is technologically advancing. Yet you're launching insults at what you don't comprehend.
This historical parallel is perfect. FDR mastered radio. JFK conquered television. Obama dominated social media in 2008. The leaders who succeed adapt to new platforms. Trump was once the Twitter disruptor. Now he's the cable news dinosaur attacking the podcast revolution.
Tucker Carlson is more powerful than you. Deep down, I think you know that, and I think you resent that, which is proven by your next lines.
Tucker's independence versus Trump's dependence is the key distinction here. Tucker walked away from Fox millions to speak freely. Trump remains beholden to donors like Miriam Adelson. The psychology is clear. Trump resents those who achieved what he never could. True freedom.
Are you aware that your base is comprised of blue-collar workers who never went to college, many who never so much wanted to go to college, never dreamed it? The farmers, the ranchers, the plumbers, the electricians, the people who work with their hands, you now stick your nose up to all of those people? Do you know who else didn't go to college? Charlie Kirk didn't go to college. Also, those men, many, I would say, a lot of the men and women that you and Pete Hegseth want to send to their deaths in the Middle East, many of them, probably most of them, didn't go to college.
This betrayal of his base is staggering. Trump's 2016 coalition was built on respecting working-class Americans without college degrees. Now he's using education as an insult, while sending those same blue-collar kids to die in Middle Eastern wars for foreign interests.
You write, or Megyn Kelly, who nastily asked me the now famous only Rosie O'Donnell question, or crazy Candace Owens, who accuses the highly respected First Lady of France of being a man when she is not, and will hopefully win lots of money in the ongoing lawsuit. Actually, to me, the First Lady of France is a far more beautiful woman than Candace. In fact, it's not even close.
The optics here are absolutely toxic for a former president. Detailed physical comparisons between women, defending foreign political wives over American allies. This isn't presidential behavior. It's the ramblings of someone completely detached from appropriate leadership standards.
Are you gay? Why are you so obsessed calling me from the White House? Stop talking about Brigitte. Is it a physical attraction truly that you had there? Back when he was better looking, I suppose? Did you sleep with him when he was a man?
The fixation is genuinely disturbing and raises serious questions about compromising material or foreign influence. When a former president is more concerned about defending French politicians than American interests, we have to ask what leverage exists over his decision-making.
People will not fight beside, behind, or for someone who is fundamentally disloyal. Okay? If disloyalty and deceit is in your nature, then I highly suggest that you combine it with silence. You can be what you are, but I would advise you do it quietly, Trump. Because MAGA is no longer commanded by you, and you know it. You know it. You belong to the Epstein class. That is your legacy now.
The Epstein connection cuts deep because it's about moral authority. Trump's base followed him as an outsider fighting corruption, but the Jeffrey Epstein associations shattered that narrative. You can't lead a populist movement when you're part of the elite predator class.
At best, what you can hope for in this moment is that maybe one day upon the college campuses that you so deeply cherish, they'll teach all about your now tarnished legacy as the perfect modern day example of Plato's allegory of the cave.
The Plato reference is brilliant. Trump, who once exposed establishment lies, now lives chained in a cave of delusion. The shadows on his wall are cast by Netanyahu and Adelson, and he mistakes their projections for reality, while the real world moves on without him.
Maybe it's Miriam Adelson that lights the fire and Bibi that makes the shadows on the wall. But the entire world recognizes that now. And though I highly doubt that you will be permitted any opportunity to see what the crowd now thinks of you, I have to do my best to try.
Miriam Adelson donated $100 million to Trump's campaign with clear expectations on Israel policy. Netanyahu's influence over Trump is documented. When foreign billionaires and prime ministers control your messaging, you're not leading America. You're serving foreign interests.
People understand that message was really your basket of deplorables moment. I mean, even on Truth Social, your very own platform, they've turned on you.
The Hillary parallel is devastating because it's exact. Clinton lost 2016 partly by dismissing Trump supporters as deplorables. Now Trump's calling his own base low IQ for opposing war. Even his Truth Social platform shows him getting ratioed by former supporters.
And I was told by Charlie that he and Andrew Colvett were present for that meeting with Donald Trump. And the reason that Charlie told me the story, and again, I could go back and try to figure out when exactly the discussion happened. I want to say it was May. So I knew that that money went through, and I knew what she wanted in exchange for $100 million.
This is explosive testimony with named witnesses. Charlie Kirk and Andrew Colvett were present during the Adelson meeting. $100 million in exchange for specific war policies represents potential foreign bribery of a presidential candidate. This demands federal investigation.
After she said this to Trump, Trump went, he was wherever Charlie was, Trump was adjusting his tie and looking in the mirror, and he said, I'm going to take her money and then I'll F her over.
This reveals Trump's character perfectly. Take foreign money while planning betrayal. But crossing someone who donated $100 million shows either incredible stupidity or dangerous overconfidence. Adelson has the resources and connections to destroy anyone who double-crosses her investments.
After that investigation, they can put a clear plan in place to resolve your tax problem and get you back on track. So do not wait for another IRS letter or a frozen bank account. Instead, call 866-686-1651 or visit tnusa.com/Candace. Again, that's tnusa.com/Candace. Also remind you guys about American financing because between groceries, travel, and higher prices, it is easy to feel overwhelmed, especially if you're already relying on credit cards to cover the basics.
Social media completely changed how Americans view foreign conflicts. Unlike previous wars sold through filtered mainstream media, we're seeing unedited footage of Israeli actions in Gaza. The bipartisan consensus supporting Israel unconditionally is cracking among younger Americans especially.
And I will forever maintain that the first casualty of the Iranian war was Charlie Kirk. I believe he was sacrificed by this death cult. That's my opinion. And I am going to stick to that. And despite the many threats to sue, money isn't everything. In fact, it's almost nothing. It is nothing next to truth.
Accusing someone of murder while facing lawsuit threats takes genuine courage. This contrasts sharply with Trump's apparent corruption and willingness to compromise American interests for money. Real leadership means choosing truth over personal financial gain, regardless of consequences.